Hi, Internet. My name is Alex. I'm an actor, writer, author, and wannabe filmmaker. And in this video, I'm talking about superhero world building and how people with powers are named and classified in the heroic ages, with some of my own rumination thoughts on other people's superhero universes. So, a superhero universe is incomplete, generally, without the presence of superpowers, and more importantly, what the empowered are called. Many go with supers, others with metahumans, mutants, parahumans was common for a while, and some universes come up with a word that is shorthand, such as the boys' soups or wearing the cape's breakthroughs. These names are tied to the world building of the piece. In the Justice Wing universe, from the blog Banter Latte, I suspect the term parahuman is used because para means beside. The authors don't want their heroes to feel they are superior to the common person. It could also be a world building aspect in that their kind of Superman stand in goes by Paragon. So you've actually got two good reasons for the word being chosen. Worm by Wildbow also uses that term. Again, I believe deliberately to show how those without powers have reacted to the presence of those with powers. In Worm, the government attempts to keep strict oversight over those with powers, and especially those who use their powers to enforce the law. So using para is a way to check the empowered while also giving those without powers a feeling of equality, if not superiority, which is, a very interesting world building aspect of Worm. In The Boys, soups is used both because most of the characters with powers are called superheroes. In the Boys comics, there are supervillains, but they're largely ignored by the story. And in the show, all people with powers are pretty much exclusively categorized as superheroes until the end of season 1. I decided to have some fun and use all the common terms to describe my people with powers. Those who fight crime are called capes, while those who commit crimes are called masks. All those with powers are put under the kind of broad strokes category of metahuman, and those without powers are called mesahumans. I wanted to use meta as a broad category for two reasons. First, because it isn't as specific as the other two of the four categories which have been used before in describing the type of power, so it wouldn't work as a subcategory, and because the in-universe view of metahumans is that they are normal humans who have undergone a change or transformation. Meta, meaning change. There are four categories of metahuman. Two are common names that many fictions have used for people with powers. Two are ones I believe I've invented, or at least I haven't seen referenced anywhere that I remember. So feel free to correct me if I'm wrong. Superhumans are those with physical powers, enhanced strength slash physiology, enhanced speed, agility, intelligence, basically an enhanced trait or control over a biological function. The second is parahuman, the most common type of metahuman in the heroic ages, denoting those with mental abilities, telekinesis, telepathy, elemental control, teleportation, all that kind of fun stuff. The third is ergohuman, or those that produce some form of energy. And finally, cyberhumans, those that become metahuman through technological or chemical enhancement. You might notice that there is a chance for overlap, and that is intentional. The categorization system is meant to be useful, but not correct. In the golden age of the heroic ages, there was no term for people with powers, as the public wasn't aware of them. As various groups revealed themselves or individuals started showing what they could do, the idea of people with powers was both dismissed as an urban legend and somewhat believed, especially after World War II when the Freedom Rangers, the first officially recognized capes, were used in propaganda in the tail end of the war, after the Rangers had been retired from field service. This gave rise to the superhuman term, as it was initially believed that there were only physically enhanced individuals. But as more came out, the few officials who knew or cared about metas used the term unlikely abilities to describe those with powers. This is how the government division tasked with dealing with metas got their name, Thunder, or the highly unlikely National Defense Enforcement Responders, based on Tower Comics' Thunder agents and squad characters, and with a different acronym to denote that this is, my version of them. So as capes and masks became more ubiquitous and the public cried for more control over them, the terms superhuman and for those with physical abilities came back into fashion, and the term Esper was used for those with mental abilities. Esper eventually became somewhat of a slur to parahumans. As the Bronze Age began, a prominent scientist coined the term metahuman and created the four categories, which slowly left academia and entered the general lexicon. For more details, follow me through the heroic ages.